Yeah, we trending. Watch what you say, don't offend them. They keeping it real, they commend them. People like get your wife pregnant, but I ain't trying to be dependent.
You seen that video of the dude talking about the 90s and how millennials are nostalgic about it because that's the only era we have?
Yes, it's the only decade of good shit for us that we ever had.
Yeah, because early 2000s we had 9/11. Then after that you had the war. Then after that we in college. Around the time we're graduating from college, you get a tanking economy, no job market. Then what? The housing crash.
So now
after the housing crash,
we finally after the economy drops, we finally get a chance to go out and buy a house. That drops.
Yeah, the housing market crashed, and then once the housing market recovers, everything is priced out of what we thought it would be. When we was growing up, we had the idea of, okay, let's say a 3.2. A 3.2 was going to cost about $250,000. When the last time you seen a 3.2 for $250,000?
I haven't.
Even if it's a fixer upper, at a minimum, you paying about $300 to $350. And it's like, dude, this house ain't even moving ready. Like, it's basically a crack house that I'm purchasing. Basically.
I got to put up new walls and all that. Look.
No, you have to do everything.
Look, even after that, we finally, we trying to build lives, pandemic.
Exactly.
Oh, you finally can afford to go and take all them trips that you always wanted to take. You finally can afford to go and live the life that you want. No, stay in the house for 2 years.
No, it's been rough. And the thing is, I didn't put it into perspective until he said it. And it's like, he's right. We didn't really have like late teens, early adulthood hasn't been all peaches and cream. It was like what the lives we saw of adults in the 90s ain't been none of that shit for us.
No, because it literally, thinking about it, the world did end in Y2K. Like, it really did end. Like, ain't shit been right for us since. Like, think about that, guys. Ain't shit been right for us since. Like, the clock struck. We went into a whole spiral, like World Trade Centers. Aaliyah died. And that was big for me. That's why it's big for me. It's big for me. Fuck
I'm
everybody.
Not laughing as she died.
No,
I'm laughing how you say something as big as the World Trade Center, and then Aaliyah was right there like, hey, this was just as bad.
It impacted me the same way because Aaliyah died the day before our first day of high school in a plane crash. 2 weeks later, literally 2 weeks later, 9/11 happens. So for me, it was like planes and planes. I was already like, man, I ain't been on a plane in a little minute. And then all that shit happened. I was like, I'm never getting on a plane again. You have all of that happen simultaneously. Like, since 2000, ain't shit really been right for us. This whole millennium, hasn't been shit for us. That's crazy.
Yeah. Broke, can't fall in love, not having kids, not getting married. Everything's our fault. They blaming us for liking avocado toast. You name it.
Bro, I feel like you called me out like a lot in everything you just said. Broke. Broke.
Nigga, I'm
ain't
in
married, ain't in love. Boat. Nah, nigga, you checked off a lot of them other boxes, my nigga.
Hey, I like avocado toast. They get mad at me for that. I'm lucky on the in love and kids part. So
pandemic, that was the one thing the pandemic did do for you.
Yes. Because I was locked in the house with her, and I mean, you could
Fuck
only watch
wife.
so much. Yeah, it was only so much Tiger King you could watch.
You know what I'm saying? Carol Baskins wasn't doing it for you, so
no.
Baby, you about to take a break?
Yeah, right. Work done slowed down. It's like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the beginning of the pandemic wasn't like the first 2 weeks of the pandemic. It wasn't that bad. It was like,
more vacation. It was like, we ain't gotta go nowhere.
It was more vacation because the jobs had to pivot quick. They was like, all right, well, we got to stop work for 2 weeks. All right, so just go home for 2 weeks. No assignments was given out or anything. So it was just like, all right, 2 week break. Cool. So everybody's sitting down 2 weeks. We just chilling, twiddling our thumbs. That 2 weeks go by and it was like, wait, you got some people that still ain't sit their ass down yet. Motherfuckers still sick. So y'all got to sit down for 2 more weeks. Now we like, damn, instead of missing 1 paycheck, like I got to miss 2. Now niggas nervous. Like 1 paycheck, if I miss it, I could still make things shake. I could still get by. A whole month of pay, I don't know what I'm finna do about this. So now it's like people itching to get back to work. Then they come back and was like, yeah, about that other 2 weeks, we gonna need y'all to stay home for another 2 months. And it's like, oh, hell no. Now people panicking.
Hey, what you mean? What you mean?
Yeah, like what you talking about? What you mean the folks in Atlanta, because they not sitting still, we got to suffer too here in Florida? Hell no.
Nah, I can't put it
Then
on
you
them
look
because
up.
we started inviting niggas to spring break. Y'all come down. Like,
Hey, somebody said it best. There was like black people felt that quarantine means no contact with people you don't know.
that's what it, no, real shit. Let's think about that though. We literally were like, hey, quarantine me like I can still go around my family. Like,
Yeah.
I can still go around my
Like-
family and my homeboy. I know they don't be nowhere, so I'm gonna still go around it.
They're like, Frank, y'all quarantine? Yeah, but I'm finna drop off my kids to my mama house, and then I'm finna come back home and work. Nigga, that's not quarantine. All y'all need to stay in the damn house.
Cross contamination all over the place.
And then when you get COVID, be like, damn, I ain't even go nowhere. Yeah, nigga, because you...
Hey, we was getting COVID. Like, how the fuck? Like, I ain't even been nowhere.
No, it's during the pandemic. You go to the gas station, there's like 18 cars at the pump. It's like, why everybody here? Like, there's no reason all of our cars are on E. Like, we supposed to be home. Like, ain't nobody supposed to be driving or nothing. But we are half of the people there with masks on. The other half is just barefaced.
You know
And
the
then
part.
the folks with the mask, we looking at them like they got the rabies. Like,
Hey, y'all niggas sick. What you doing out here?
yeah.
Here's the shit
Like,
that blew
dog,
my
you
mind.
wildin'.
Why the fuck was there still so much traffic? Like, I was still 95 was still packed, and I'm like, how the fuck?
Because we thought that it's like, okay, if everybody is doing the right thing, I could do the wrong thing and be one of the very few. But if everybody thinks like that, it's like we all doing the wrong thing. Like, okay, everybody gonna be home, so if I'm on the road, there should be no traffic. But everybody else is thinking, okay, everybody's gonna be on the road except me. So when you hit the highway, it's like, dog, where are we all going?
Ain't shit open. I was going to work. Like, I was going into the office. I was the person who was helping with making sure everybody got their mail. Like, I go in, scan it.
So
Any important shit, I would go in, sort the mail with my gloves and shit. I would still have my mask on. I was the only one in
Right.
there. So I would go.
they had you listed as an essential worker. So you went into work. But you want to know the thing with that? To prove you was an essential worker, all you had to do was like go to a government website and download a paper that said, like, if you like, it had a whole list of industries. And I checked off I'm in construction. Technically I am. So I was able to print out a paper that said I was an essential worker. If I'm being completely honest, I am not an essential worker. But these bills though. So I printed that shit out. I had that shit right on my dashboard just in case if I was stopped a question, be like, hey, they need me on that job site. Like, what you want me to do?
Here's my thing. No one ever stopped me.
Not a damn person.
Want to know? You know how I know that essential worker shit didn't matter? You just told me. Frank just told me about this website. I had never known about it.
So you just went in.
I was just driving to work, go in. Beep. I was parking. I'm parking in the mayor's parking spot. You're like, I'm living life. Ain't nobody here. I'm parking right by the door. Like, I'm not worried about nobody. Boop, get in, do my little thing. I'm there in the office by an hour. I sit down, just put my laptop there because I'm there. I might as well take advantage of having my full setup.
Right.
Work a couple hours, probably do more work than most people was doing sitting at the house because we had not gotten acclimated to working from home. We were still trying to figure out, like, do I still watch YouTube while I do my shit, or can I? Like, it's what a scary time we were living. And guys, that's been the last 20 years of our lives. The last 20,
Scary
which is a
time after scary
majority of
time.
our lives.
Dude, like, okay, so when we rewinding it way back to high school. So one of my fears, like as senior year was winding down, is like, damn, the moment we graduate, like we could get drafted. Nigga was terrible. Dude, I didn't want to go to war. Dog, you just turned 18, graduate high school, and then somebody telling you, hey, yeah, we need you to come hold this AK overseas real quick. Like, the fuck I'm finna do over there? I ain't want to sign up for that shit.
You was gonna shoot the
I'm
AK?
Googling shit to see, okay, like, what can I have to make me exempt? Is being bow-legged frowned upon in the military? Like, what I gotta do?
I'm flat-footed as fuck.
I heard of that one. I'm like, okay, I'm flat-footed. Would that count? I ain't see nothing that confirmed being flat-footed. Well, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell them I got sickle cell. Maybe then they won't draft them. You have to
prove that you have sickle cell.
I got the trait, so I was gonna play off that shit and say, hey, I got the trait. So
why? Because you're black.
Flare up at any time.
Because you're black.
Nigga, I was scared. I was trying to think of anything.
Because you black, you got sickle cell. I got the trait. I can have it.
I really do have the trait, though. Now that is no joke. Seriously, I do. Okay. But I didn't know if that would have prevented me from getting drafted or what. I just know I was terrified. And then, well, you went to FIU, so I don't know how it was when you was there. But at Miami-Dade, nigga, there was so many people from the armed forces recruiting on campus. And them niggas was aggressive. Normally, people sit at the little table. They might flag you over. You walk over, they hand you a pamphlet. They try to talk up what they do. Yeah, man, we serve our country proud. We make a good money. You know, we buy Camaros at the end of the year. Life is great. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
But shit, not at Miami-Dade. It's like them niggas ain't even need no table. They was just roaming the halls, making eye contact with people. And the moment they made eye contact with you, they was like, "Hey, you want to serve your country proud?"
It was like, "Hey, can we tell you about your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?"
Dog, just like them niggas aggressive. It's like, dog, like I'm just trying to go to math class right now. Like, fam, I ain't trying to be on nothing you on. I ain't trying to wear that Marine uniform. I ain't trying to have my shirt tucked in. That's extra crisp like that. Like, just leave me alone, fam. One dude even said, you know, I could kill a man with my bare hands, but I don't though. I just touch money all day. I'm like, nigga, that's good for you, fam. Like,
I appreciate you telling me.
Yeah, let me go fail this test that I'm not prepared for. You heard that.
Yes. I keep hearing it. Go ahead.
Like, let me go fail this test I'm not prepared for and let me go about my business, bruh. And nigga ain't trying to serve no army.
For me, my biggest fear wasn't going there because, like, for me, my roommate, my second year, was a recruiter. So, like, I would see him.
He was a recruiter while in college.
He was a recruiter for the Air Force.
Okay.
He was being recruited, but actively being a recruiter. You know how that shit go? It's weird. Like, he wasn't getting paid to be a recruiter, but since you worked in that office,
he was a civilian. He wasn't enlisted.
No, but you knew he was moving to the Air Force. Like, that was the thing. Like,
he
had on a uniform. Path, he had on a uniform every day. Like, shout out to him.
Why didn't he just enlist and just have them cover his college? Well, that's a question for him, I guess. Okay,
that ain't my business. That ain't my business. Like,
nigga, you hustling backwards. They'll pay for that shit.
He was getting something. But,
okay.
Man, like I said, it's been a very scary 20 years. So yeah, we're happy to talk about Chippendale Rescue Rangers. We're happy to talk about the old X-Men cartoons. Because guess what? That was the only thing we was really watching in the 90s. Okay?
Simpler times. Schools weren't getting shot up and shit.
When it did happen, that was 2000s. It was in the 2000s.
Yeah, that was.
And it was shocking as fuck.
Columbine happened in year 2000?
I think it was 99.
It was towards the end of the decade, in other words. Because I want to say Columbine happened when we was in middle school. And we should have known then. It was. And like you said, that shit was shocking. That shit was on the news for weeks and months because it was unheard of.
Yes, like, April 99.
99, okay. So basically, that's the kickoff point. From there, from the Columbine shooting up until now, just shit ain't been good. Damn. Put that shit in perspective. Right? Still gonna get these jokes though. No, 100%. I mean, we still gonna have a good time. Yeah, you gotta laugh through the pain. That's the only way to get through it.
Well, that's what Ja Rule said. In one of them albums, Love is Pain or some shit like that. That was early 2000. That's where my brain is at. Like middle school, that's what I was going through. There was a lot of Ja Rule during that time.
That was his golden era. Then 50 Cent came along early in high school and just stepped all on his shit.
Into his shit.
Swiftly.
No Taylor. Ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between and outside of those constructs, welcome to another episode of the Samurai Professionals Podcast, the podcast where two young professionals bring issues to the table and we chop it up. I'm your co-host Marvin, Young Saint, Cuff Daddy, Charles Flex Xavier, Dat Man Beyond, Dion Slanders, Young Matches Malone, Petty Pendergrass, Public Sub-Zero, Scorpion Vibes, tell your wife to get over here. Hey, boo. And the man to the right of me can only be
Nacho Man, Candy Savage, the Serial Killer, Applejack the Ripper, the Munch on Lunch, Lord of the Wings, Jabba in the Cut, the Wholesome Dude, Fatboy Slim, Grits and Gravy, Ron Swan Song, Walter White Walker, Horror Door Stopper, the FNF&D, one half of this POD, He is I and I am him. It is Frank. Let's chop it up.
Let's chop it up. The Munch at Lunch is probably my favorite of all your
Really?
Yeah.
Well, why is that? I know that's the setup. Go ahead and hit me with the punchline.
It wasn't. I always chuckle when you say it. That's all. You see how
Okay.
I feel as if I have made Frank. I do so much shit to Frank, or I try my best to annoy Frank and poke at Frank, pause, so often that we were talking earlier in a little pre-production, and he was telling me about some shit I did, and that shit was just yesterday, and I was like, what the hell? I was confused.
It's almost
shit.
like breathing for you. It's like, what? I didn't. Yeah, you know what? I did do that.
Because I did see the opportunity. Because when you said it, I was like, was I bothering Frank? And then I realized it was at a point where I was bothering Frank and he wasn't responding enough that I screenshot it and sent it to him a different way. Like, hey, my nigga, you ain't see this shit I said?
I was like, yes, I saw it. But to get back at you, I got to pretend like I didn't see it.
I knew that was happening. That's why I made sure.
That was like the Uno reverse. There he is.
That's all right. Reverse you back to me. I just kept going. I was like, all right. But after a while, I was like, I know he see all these tags. Like, he in here. Like, I know he see him.
Okay, quick. You play Uno. I play Uno. Like, if it's just me and you throw the reverse, is that how you play? Reverse back to me? Skip you, then it's my go again? And all, is that how you play?
Well, isn't it a reverse? It's only two people left. The only way I can reverse it is back to me. It don't reverse and go back to you. It'd be a stupid card.
Because I know some people don't play like that. They say, no, that don't make sense. So in a sense, they'll let you throw down your reverse, but it'll still be their go. It makes no sense. Because I know different people, depending on where you're from, they play Uno differently.
Nah, let me tell you. If it's like three of us, then if I reverse it, they go back to the person who went before.
Yeah, it's just
but when
the
it's
next
two
person.
people, when it's two people, it's reverse back to me, reverse back to me, skip you back to me, skip you back to me, Uno out. My bad. But you see how, like, once you get it going, you gotta quick. Because what you're not gonna do is hit me with an Uno.
Yeah, and you got to keep the person disoriented. Like, what's going on?
It's like in your mind when you doing it, right? In your mind, you're doing it so fast, and you think you like really fucking them up, even though they watching, waiting for you to get down to your last two cards.
They're counting your cards,
but in your mind,
so that's why you got to hide that last card. Put it like you got to line them up right. So when they quick to say no Uno, be like, nah, I got two.
Bam.
So false call.
Hey, but in your mind, when you're doing it fast, you thinking their reaction is, oh, like they get fucked up. Like, I'm fucking them up with this one. You done coordinated your cards together. I done put my
You
blue.
can tell when the nigga's doing all of this.
He lining up.
It's like, okay, that's his rhythm right there. He's gonna throw that one, then it's that one, then it's that one, then it's those two, because he got 2 4s, got 3 6s. Like, damn. Nigga got 25 cards in his hand. He's gonna get them all out in 3 seconds.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. And what y'all play? Y'all play only pick up one card, or y'all play pick till you get? It
No, click
depends.
till you get.
It depends. It depends on like what's called at the beginning of it. Because like the rules, if you play Uno, the rules are established very early on. Like, are we allowed to stack? I don't know. Every area call it something different.
I like stacking. Okay, this is what we consider stacking. If I got a green 6, a yellow 6, and a blue 6, I could throw out all my 6s.
One time.
You know what I mean? And whatever. So let's say the color on the top of the pile is yellow. I put my yellow 6 down first, and whatever other 6s there is, if I want it to be blue, my top 6 is the blue 6. Now the color is blue. That's how we play. And then as far as picking up, if you don't have a blue, you pick up till you find a blue, or until you find a wild or a draw 4.
Whatever can get you out of, because you got to play. Ain't no pick up and just go to the next person.
I'm not gonna lie though, this might be against the rules, but if I'm picking up and it's a draw 4 and nobody really saw I got the draw 4, I'm gonna cuff that and pick up till I get a blue.
Now, first of all, that's cheating. Second of all, I always do that. Now, it could bite you in the ass. Now, it could bite you in the ass because you may not still get a blue for another 10 cards. But it's a risk.
Gamble.
It's a risk I'm willing to take. You feel me?
Yeah, exactly.
I hear all that.
Come the end of that game, I cuff that draw 4. If I got 2 or 3 cards left, I could really bust your ass with that. So, especially if that's my Uno out card, I'm safe as shit.
Now, mind you,
not gonna get me.
Let me ask you this: when y'all play, do y'all? Now, this is for the advanced rules. That's when you got a little older. You was about like 11, 12. Did y'all play like if I have the colors coordinated properly, can I play the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind playing that way. Like,
okay,
if it's up to me, I let that roll.
Okay.
And then I also like traveling. So let's say we playing, you throw out a draw 4. If I got a draw 4, I play my draw 4. Now the next guy got to pick up 8. But if he got a draw 4, he could throw that out. And now that third,
What if he got a draw? What if the next person got a draw 2? He can't hit it?
Okay. He could hit. Okay, so say that third person play a draw 4, and then you gotta call the color. If the nigga say yellow, and I got a yellow draw 2, then we'll allow that.
See, we don't even do all that. That's different. We don't even do all that. If you got to draw anything, it could go.
Oh, yeah, let a draw anything.
A draw anything could go.
I'm not mad at that. I'll fuck with that.
Okay.
But like you said, you gotta establish the rules, especially if it's your clique, then y'all know how to play it. It's like, okay, this is how we always play it. But if let's say if it's your family, then I go to y'all house and y'all playing Uno, I just can't jump in playing how we play because it'll be like, hold on, what's this nigga doing? Get him up out of here. You got to establish the rule. That's why you always say how y'all play.
Always.
I mean, y'all territory.
How y'all play.
I don't ask what's the rules of the game. No, I ask how y'all play, how y'all do it.
That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for a lot. How y'all play? Do y'all do this?
I might watch. Yeah, I watch 2 rounds. I see what's frowned upon. I see what's allowed. Then it's like, okay, I could jump in now.
But then you always
the last thing you want. Go ahead.
But then you always got that one dude. He a bum. Like I hate this player. Like here's an example.
A bum ass nigga.
Bum ass. I was trying not to. Trying to work on my language. Now, you got one bum. He gonna put out a draw 4. It hit the next person. He put out draw 4. Next person put draw 2. Next person put a draw 4. And now it's back to him. And he don't got it. Now all of a sudden, it's a problem. Oh, wait. Hold on. He put down a draw 2. You can't put down no draw 2 on top of a draw 4. Now all of a sudden the rules done changed because the shit done came back your way.
Yeah, because had that draw 2 went down and that other person didn't have the draw 4,
wouldn't get fucked.
Just picked up, he wouldn't have said nothing.
Wouldn't get fucked. But now,
and even if he did, you're still wrong. Like, no, just you pick up your cards.
I'm trying not to cuss. I'm working on it. I highly doubt it's gonna last long.
No.
I highly doubt it's gonna last long. Especially going into this shit, man. Let's get rolling. Look, I grew up very religious, so I do understand that certain religions have different what's the word I want to use? Practices, sections. Because you got your Protestants, you got your like you know what I'm saying, like you got
right, like a subdivision,
and there is a word for that, and I should know it as much time I spent in church, but I don't know it right now. Okay, but you got your Seventh-day Adventists, you got your Baptists, you got your Southern Baptists, you got your Protestants, like you got all these different things, but the essential thing is they're all Christian. You know what I mean? Catholics, they're all Christian under the banner. You got your Buddhists.
Yes, Buddhism is a separate,
right, and they all have their different ones. And Catholics have the Pope as like the head of their church, the head of like you're the person we look to set the standard for the religion. And Buddhist, certain sections of Buddhism has the Dalai Lama. And my nigga, but every one of y'all have heard the whole Dalai Lama thing by now. There's video of him meeting a kid really wanting to speak with him. He goes up, I think that's a religious thing where they, place heads, or a cultural thing over in India. And then he asked the kid to suck his tongue.
He asked him for a kiss first. Then he asked him.
Now, the kissing of children, we'll dive into that in a second, but the sucking the tongue thing, no, that shit looked very creepy to me. Like his face was creepy, all of it. Like I only watched the video once originally, and I was just really disturbed by it, and I didn't watch it again. I only watched it just before we started the pod, just so that I could just like make sure I had the visuals correct.
Right. So when it was first brought to my attention, it was just a still shot of him with his tongue sticking out in front of the little boy. And then
I saw that. I thought it was Photoshop. I was like, kept scrolling too the first time.
I didn't think it was Photoshop. I'm like, because the title of the image or whatever said it was pretty straightforward. What you just said, Dalai Lama asked little boy to suck his tongue, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's a language barrier. Maybe they said it in a certain language and somebody tried to translate it and it didn't come out right. Maybe the image, it's a nasty image and they're just playing off of it. I don't know. Could have been doctored somehow. And then there was a video. And in the video, he's speaking English. So one, that takes away the excuse of it being misinterpreted. And then two, you watch the video and it plays out exactly like the title says. So then you're like, well, what the fuck? And that's all I had. I was just speechless. Like, how does some shit like that happen? At what point do you ever think that's okay?
And the shit that was blowing my mind is there's a bunch of people in this room. But
nobody flinched.
Nobody flinched. You can visibly see the kid felt uncomfortable.
He even pulled back a little bit. Like
the fuck? What?
I mean, I said it too, so go ahead.
What was his reaction going to be to that shit?
Pressure. I mean, he's a 10-year-old kid. I'm pretty sure he understood the gravity of the person he was talking to. Like, okay, I'm talking to this person of this stature. So if somebody I'm pretty sure his parents coached him up, like this person is this important or whatever. So now you're in that situation. It's like he's boxed in. If that person tells me to do something, everybody's looking at me to do it.
And I get certain cultures are different. There's all sorts of different things that, kissing and all that. I'm going to say this. No more PC shit. I'm just going to say how I feel. That motherfucker's weird.
He's a pedophile.
That's pedophile. That is pedophile material. I'm sorry.
That's where my mind went to. Like, okay, he's a pedophile. He's probably too old to realize that, hey, I was supposed to do this shit in the closet. You did it out in the open. Now we all can see who you really are. That's how I'm thinking. That's how I'm looking at it. His PR team or whatever tried to spin it like, oh, well, it was a joke. Nah, that shit wasn't a joke. That nigga stuck his tongue out and left it there.
I'm going to read this statement.
Not a fucking joke.
I'm going to read this statement. A video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, if he could give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public before cameras. He regrets the incident.
Now,
whoever wrote that, Dalai Lama, Mr. Pedophile, His Holiness Pedophile, you need to fire that nigga. He didn't help you. Get him out of there. He often is playful and, innocent and playful. Like, we all, those are the words that, it was innocent. We were just playing. Is that when, what's his name? That's when Chris, what's his name, come in the room?
Yeah, exactly.
That's when he meet you in the
Chris Hansen. Yes,
that's when Chris Hansen will meet you in the kitchen, and you standing there.
Right.
You standing there with your clothes in your hand. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
And there he say he apologized for the pain his words could have caused. Nigga, it's not your words. We saw you stick out your tongue in hopes of the little boy sucking on it because you just told him to. That's actions, bruh. You did that shit. Like 50 Cent said, guilty as fuck. You saw that shit.
You did that shit.
Yeah, you did it. And we all saw you. Like, we all saw you. It went viral. What I'm surprised, though, this happened early in the week. What Tuesday, maybe?
Yeah.
And by Thursday, I didn't see it as much. I mean, we've seen shit that we considered bullshit on news circuits for longer than that shit. I mean, to see one of the world leaders commit an act of pedophilia and then not circle for more than 72 hours, that's crazy. I would think that would be bigger news.
It should be bigger news.
It should be, right?
But I can't look how quick it was wiped. We talked about this the other day with another topic, how certain things should have been bigger news. It should have stayed in the news cycle a lot longer. And it was just like the Jerry Jones shit. It was in the news cycle and then the motherfucker wasn't. The shit was.
Can I put on my conspiracy theory hat for a little bit?
Sure. I'm interested.
Reason I feel that it didn't circulate on the news circuit for as long as it did, because people who run the news circuit understand how many leaders actually are pedophiles and commit to that shit. The last thing they want to do is say, hey, this is frowned upon, knowing damn well the people in power who empower them do the same shit. So it's like, hey, we can't talk about this shit because the people who own our companies and the people who have the power to break our companies are pedophiles too. So, you know what? Let's just sweep this under the rug because we know they all do the shit. We've seen the pictures of Jeffrey Epstein with all of his friends. All them motherfuckers are people of influence.
You right.
That's just how I'm thinking. It's like, all y'all do that shit anyway. So that's why it's like, hey, don't be talking too much about the Dalai Lama because I'm on that shit too, so chill out. That's what makes sense to me. I could be dead ass wrong.
Could be.
But I've seen them pictures of who your quote unquote friends were on that. Them niggas ain't hanging with you because you got the newest PlayStation. I'm just saying.
You got a point. At least, what do they do with him though? Like, do they, like if this continues, like, because I know I feel away. But it's also like I can't cancel him because it's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to stop being Buddhist? I'm already not. So there's not much change I got.
Yeah, you can't cancel somebody you don't really fuck with to begin with. But I would like to hope that somehow he's stripped of that. I'll be honest with you. I'm ignorant to how he gets appointed to be the Dalai Lama. I don't even know if they have a second in line or however that works. But I would hope that he's somehow stripped from that title and say, hey, you are, due to your actions, you're no longer fit to lead. If they keep him in the leadership role, it's a bad look from my perspective.
I mean, even the Catholics will put a nigga on the trading block. Be like, hey, we got to move him to another diocese. He can keep
After
being
they realize they can't protect you anymore.
Yeah, they'll do their thing, and then they'll be like, all right, well, hey, we're gonna send you over to Utah. Nobody don't know you out there. It's not. It's funny, but it's not funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like
you gotta laugh through the pain.
Like, that's how they move. Like, oh well, all right, well, you too many little boys here. We gotta move you out this way.
Yeah. When you said too many little boys, that reminded me of. Remember when the thing happened with Bishop Eddie Long, and all the little boys they brought up to speak on his behalf was like, you sure he was mentoring them boys? Just saying.
You know, it's there, bro. It's there. And then I also, what's your take on kissing kids on the mouth? Kissing your kids on the mouth. Did you grow up with your mom kissing you on the mouth and stuff like that? This is not an accusatory thing. 4.
My mother kissed me on my mouth until I was about maybe 4 or 5, and that's it. It stopped. It was kisses on the cheeks, and that's it.
And what people do culturally, do your thing. I find it strange when I see,
like, if it's a parent kissing their child, like, for example, Tom Brady, his son is about 12, 13.
No, shit was weird.
He kisses his son. Huh?
Shit was weird. Shit's weird.
But
I'm going to say it.
It's weird, but I didn't look at it the same way as I viewed this Dalai Lama shit. It was Tom Brady's son. He kissed his son at the mouth at age 12. It was like, all right, whatever. That's his son. Cool. I didn't see it because it was like a peck. It wasn't a passionate kiss or nothing. It was like, I wouldn't do it, but it didn't strike the weird chord for me as much. It was just one of those things where it's like, I wouldn't do that, but to each his own.
I gave it
the Dalai Lama was
I gave it a side eye. I gave it a side eye.
And I'm cool with you giving it the side eye. Like, it wasn't enough for me to say, hey, Child Protective Services.
Oh, no.
Right. That's basically what I'm saying. As far as the Dalai Lama shit, hey, maybe call Child Protective Services. But as far as parents kissing their children, like I said with Tom Brady, I didn't see an issue with him doing it. I wouldn't do it, but I'm not finna call CPS on you.
Okay, I'm asking about you and your children. At what age do you stop that?
I would probably say the same age my mother stopped, about 4 or 5 years old. I'm not, because the thing is, I think in some cases children have a hard time discerning who is okay to kiss, who is not okay to kiss. They just see kissing as a form of affection. For example, like Miani in school, we hug and kiss our children. Like, we're very affectionate family. So when she's in school, when her little friends are saying, like when I go to pick her up and her friends are saying bye, from what I see, they come from affectionate homes too. They actually hug each other and say bye. And sometimes they've kissed each other. And it's like, hey, like, if you in school, if y'all hug, cool, but y'all can't kiss goodbye. Like, you can't allow that. You know what I mean? So now we had to pull back from doing that. Like, we'd give her a hug, we give her a kiss on the cheek, and that's it. Like, okay. And then we have to let her know that it's okay to kiss mommy on the cheek. It's okay to kiss daddy on the cheek. No more kissing people.
And that's okay to learn. That's okay to learn in the home. I don't have a problem with that. I think that's important.
Right.
My issue is like people who, and I know people do it, but like kissing 13, 14, 15-year-olds in the mouth, it's just, I find it a little strange. And I'm not a person who lacked affection. Like, my mom gave me hugs, gave me kisses on the cheek. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying I always look at it a little sideways when it's like, at a certain age, it's got to stop. But what age is that? What age is it important to stop that? Because some may say, hey, I taught my kids not to kiss other people on the mouth, only family.
And that's cool. It's just, I don't. And if you're capable of doing it, you're able to do that, then great, do that. I see no problem with family kissing each other. I think it's a form of affection. It's great. However, I think it blurs the line for children when they're unable to discern the difference of, oh, this is a form of affection, or this is a limited form of affection that I should only be given to certain people. So when she's old enough to discern the two, then it's like, okay, it's okay to kiss on the cheek or whatever. But before he even gets to there, it's like, hey, let's nip this on the bud. Before I confuse you enough to where you have to try to figure out who and who not to kiss, just play it safe. Don't kiss nobody.
I can work with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just the whole thing was so cringy. I just
It was uncomfortable to watch.
Even
Definitely.
talking about it is uncomfortable to talk about.
And I'm not gonna lie, it made me angry to see that shit and nobody say, yo, what are not even it get to the point of him sticking his tongue out. Like whenever he was like, you know, gesturing for the kiss, there should have been somebody in the background doing like this. Like,
well, that could be cultural.
Hey,
that could be cultural. I'm not familiar with their culture over there, but maybe kissing on the mouth is culturally accepted over there.
Okay, maybe you're right. But definitely the sucking my tongue thing. That I don't know about that one, bro.
Ain't no justification over here, bro.
Yeah, right. I don't know about that. Kissing, maybe. You might be right. I could be wrong. But the sucking the tongue thing, even if I am wrong, fuck that shit. No, don't do that.
We can find a better way. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, man. It was like, you're doing way too much. Way too much. This is wrong.
Please stop.
Yeah. You know, it was one of those things that when it happened, everybody in the crowd did like this. Like, I'm not the only one that saw that shit, right? Yeah. So y'all not cool with it too? Oh, okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure I'm not alone and feeling uncomfortable.
But there was no action. But
there was no action.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if that nigga moves to Bali too.
Who moved to Bali?
Russell Simmons. You know that's why he moved to Bali, right? When the whole Me Too thing.
You are way too focused on this Russell Simmons thing. You bring it up like every month. Like I don't get it.
It's funny.
I don't. Leave him and his
ran away
Argyle
from
sweaters.
that shit and everybody forgot about him. Like, dog, he did that shit.
Leave him and his Argyle sweaters right where they at. I don't care. I don't want to hear it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not know what an Argyle sweater was until after you explained it and you said, "Oh, I only saw them on Russell Simmons." Then I knew exactly what they were.
So earlier this,
you're the only nigga that wear them.
Earlier this week, me and Frank were having a conversation offline about how crazy it was. How here goes another bad thing that happened to us in the 2000s.
Wait. I don't know if that was a bad thing. Like it was. We were clean. We wouldn't do it now, but back then we were clean.
We were clean. We was out there. This is when going to the club had some racism built in. So in order to weed out niggas from showing up to the club, they had dress codes, very, very strict dress codes.
No t-shirts, no hats, no tennis shoes, no sagging pants, no jeans. Am I missing one? I think maybe no jewelry, like no long, like your chain couldn't be like down to your belly button. Because at the time you had players like Allen Iverson and a lot of these NBA players, like the Cash Money the trend was to wear really long chains. So some of the clubs was like, yo, if your chain too long, like I don't know about that, you can't come in.
Sorry, player.
Every bullshit rule you can think of, basically anything cool they felt black people did, you can't do that shit to get in the club.
The only thing, there was one where it was like no brown skin, and I couldn't do shit about it. So I just had to be like just focus on this side, please.
I remember one time I was trying to get in a club at the Hard Rock, and when I get to the door, the guy's like, "No tennis shoes," and I had on, what's the name of that brand? Do you remember the brand called Creative Recreation?
Creative Rex. I used to have my little Creative Rex. Those are I still fuck with a Creative Rex.
They were tennis shoes, white. But they were like
upscale.
I'm not gonna say. Yeah, it was like an upscale. It wasn't
leather.
It definitely wasn't a basketball shoe. It's more like a leisure sneaker. It's like basically what Balenciaga and all those shits are now. It was kind of like in that class. Like this is not an athletic sneaker. It's a fashion sneaker. And anyway, I had on a pair of those, right? And the dude is like, "Nah, we can't let you own them sneakers." And I'm like, "What?" As soon as I'm saying it, a nigga walks by in like some Adidas. And I'm just pointing like, dog, that like that man got on some shell tops. Like, what is you saying?
Shell toes, but he a promoter. So
no, that nigga was not a promoter. He was a regular dude like me. He was in that bitch.
Hey, look, it is what
he was
it
just
is.
White.
That's why you ask. They would have preferred you wear them ugly ass Toms, Sperry's. Diesel. Let me tell you, Diesel. Aldo.
With the square front.
Yeah, that square front.
Oh my God.
Ugly. You used to fuck your toes up.
Ugly is an understatement, bruh. You couldn't pay me to wear them shits now.
Aldo used to have his run. Express. Like we were in clubs wearing business casual clothes. Like I could walk out of this club right now, right out of club space, and go to an interview smelling like Black and Miles and Spritz. But hey, it is what it is.
The reason Express was so fire because it was 2 for 1. You bought clothes for your job interview and they doubled this clothing outfits. So, I mean, the military shirts.
Oh, hands down. You couldn't fuck with me, boy. Hey,
hey, you roll a sleeve between 8 and 5. The sleeve is rolled down. After 5:30, man, you roll them bitches up. You loosen the tie a little bit. You ready to go?
Hey, why I have a picture like that? Well, I swear you couldn't have told me I wasn't the freshest nigga on earth. You couldn't have told me a little military shirt with my little shit, my little button shit right here.
Man, I spent so much money on the military shirts. I had them in damn near every color. Me too. Every color.
Me too.
I'm not gonna lie though. Express quality and of material was great. You could wash them shirts. They didn't fade.
See, I didn't fuck with Express that much because I really didn't like their quality. I felt like they were a little too thin, so I used to fuck with the little Mark Echo cut and sew. When they had made the little cut and sew, when they had made that was a good brand. Oh man, you couldn't have sold me shit. Damn,
Mark Echo cut and sew. But I get it. You're excited. It was a fun time. I mean, going to the club with business attire was really. But you know, out of all of that shit, the worst shit was like the moment I realized
Argyle sweaters. Okay,
it wasn't even Argyle
sweaters.
It was the moment I realized, like, okay, Frank, you doing too much right now. Like, this ain't no way in hell you cool anymore. Is when I was in the club with a hat on and sunglasses. It was like, what am I doing? I barely could see 10 feet in front of me.
What, you had the fedora?
I think I had on a fedora, fam. I'm gonna tell you the outfit I had on. I had on a brown military shirt, right?
Okay.
And I had this tan fedora, and it had like, you know how the fedora has got the little band around it? It had a darker brown band that matched the shirt, right? And then I had these aviator lens that was like had a brown tint to them. Remember, maybe it was Puffy who made the shit popular. It was really dark up top, and then the tint of the glasses. Yeah, I had one of them. I thought my outfit was the shit. Oh, and then I want to say it was like maybe Steve Madden's with the square toe, that match. So I was like, damn, not all brown, just different shades of brown.
Goatee lined. Goatee lined up.
Nick, I thought I was doing it. And you know it's bad that, okay, I put out the outfit that day, I wear it. And it's not like years go by. It was like shortly thereafter, it was almost like post-nut clarity. Like, why did I do that? Like, I was embarrassed. And then remember 7 days, 7 nights, because before social media, before Instagram and all that shit, you had this organization 7 days, 7 nights. They'll go to the clubs, they'll take their pictures,
post it up, and then you can take a picture off there. You can take a picture off there, put it on your little MySpace.
Yeah, exactly. See, the kids don't know about that shit. Dog,
that's for the celebrities. That's what Getty Images is for them.
Yeah.
That's what that was for us. That's whenever you went to one of them good parties where they had it was a photographer just for that. You would see the same nigga. He'd be at all the island parties too.
And you end up on the 7 days, 7 nights. It's like, that's how you know if the party was jumping. You go on the 7 days, 7 nights. Be like, oh shit, that nigga's, this what iguanas look like on the Thursday? Okay, I need to go.
And you in the picture like this.
Yeah. This was
the
pose.
They always got to put up the one like.
It meant nothing. It wasn't a gang sign, or you didn't know what to do with your hands, so you just. Well, bro, before that 7 Day, 7 Night came out, it was like, bro, I will never do that shit again. Like, it was just no reason. No reason for me to have on a hat
None
and sunglasses in the
whatsoever.
club.
But we was enjoying ourselves. You couldn't have
Had
told
the
me
time
shit.
of our life. The music was fire. There's no reason why we was swag surfing and crunked out in 3 layers of clothing. But I mean, there's no reasons for somebody in Miami to have a sweater vest, but we had that shit.
Had me on a cargo. I would have put, not a cargo, a cardigan sweater. It would be buttoned up right there. I got him a little shirt up under there. It couldn't tell me nothing. Then you hear that boom, boom, boom. Shorty snapping. Told me that. Like right there, I knew I was always waiting. Once Buy You a Drink came on, I was like, hey boy, whenever y'all boy ready. I was looking forward to that all night. I make sure I'm dancing. I'm feeling. We hit the little T-Pain era of the music. You like, oh, I know it's coming. Let me make sure I got a nice one right next to me.
I know I got a picture of me in a cardigan floating around somewhere. And this one of the cardigans that it took a while for me to retire. I had this shit in green and black from Express. They had that big ass lion on the chest.
A little varsity.
Yeah. And that shit came up, it flipped on the collar. I thought that sweater was the shit. I bought it in 2 colors. Like, man, they ain't gonna fuck with me with this shit here.
With the little shawl sweater that get all puffy around the neck. Yeah.
Bruh. Bad fashion decisions.
I live in Miami. That at best is gonna be 67 out here. At best. And inside is gonna be a brisk 92. And I'ma still be shorty snapping. Hey.
Sweating and everything, bruh.
That's why
just in the club, just
used to stay by the bar, and as soon as you get
could
your
grab
drink,
their napkins.
Hey, look. You know that you can't go back there too many times. So what you do? You fold that bitch.
Fold that bitch up.
Bruh.
And we did that shit thinking we was gonna get some hoes, bruh. All the whole time we sweating, overheating, dehydrated and shit.
Dick salty as a motherfucker.
Got all the flavor of the night on you. Just all the flavor of the night. And you thinking you actually finna take somebody home and ask them to put their mouth on you. Well, we was horrible people. Horrible people.
Incredible Hulk just coming through your pores.
Oh my. And then we young, so we don't know what good liquor is from bad liquor. We drinking drinks like Incredible Hulk. We drinking bottom shelves Long Island. Niggas ordering Jose Cuervo. Taking shots of Jägermeister and shit.
Oh, man.
But see, that's all we got since the 90s. Like everything we described, that was the highlight since the 90s.
And that bitch started around like 2007, 2008.
And that shit didn't last long. It started like 2007, 2008, lasted to at the very least 2010. And that was it. After that, it was like, hey, this is done for.
Can't do it. Speaking of looking back on some fun times, Hulu is putting out a documentary. It's supposed to come out next year about Freaknik 94. Executive produced by I believe Jermaine Dupri and
directed by
Uncle Luke.
Uncle Luther Campbell. Bruh. If it's anybody that could speak on anything like Freaknik or anything closely related to that, it's Uncle Luke. The hoes are scared.
Grandma's out here shaking in their boots, shaking in their little kitten heels. They shaking like, oh, because it's some grandmas, because some of y'all are grandmas now.
Yeah.
And some of y'all aunties.
Mamas. Yeah.
Oh man.
See, the thing is, they thought they beat it. Like, hey, there wasn't a time of social media. They thought whatever nigga came out with a camera recorded, he was taking that back to wherever little city he was from, and wherever he was showing that video to, nobody would know who she is or anything like that. She was safe. And here come Uncle Luke and Jermaine Dupri. Like, nah. Not only are we gonna bring it back, we gonna put that shit out to the masses. They scared.
Sure.
I remember. So when we was in high school, Memorial Day weekend, what it is now,
it's probably the closest it was
it's
for
the closest.
us.
Yeah, so we didn't have Freaknik our generation. We had Memorial Day weekend out here in Miami, and Memorial Day weekend in Miami, early 2000s, between let's say 2002 to 2005, Memorial Day weekend on the beach was nice. A lot of college heads came out, a lot of girls, a lot of people having fun. It wasn't no social media. And one of the things I remember is that whenever it was a nigga with a camcorder, the girls would get extra. They'll turn up extra for them dudes.
Can't lose.
Yeah. So we didn't own it was two type of dudes the girls would turn up. What, three? If you was a celebrity, if you had a nice car, and if you had a camera. So if you posted up somewhere and there was some niggas with a camera around, just stay right there. The girls that go to him and put on the show. All you had to do was just sit and observe. And the thing is, they thought that, okay, whoever he records this for, wherever it goes out to, it'll never see the light of day. That's what them girls was thinking back in Freaknik. Oh, this will never see the light of day. Boy, are they wrong. You know what's going to happen. People's going to watch it for the entertainment value, but there's going to be more than a handful of people looking to put faces to the name. Like, hey, let me see who I know on this shit. Because it's not like it's ancient history, nigga. It was within our lifetime. Like, we remember our aunts and uncles saying, hey, we finna go to Atlanta for the weekend to do that shit. So don't be surprised if people start putting their business out there. Be like, oh, that's my auntie at minute 4:56 on the thing.
Auntie shook. Auntie shook.
Auntie is very shook.
And I don't know what y'all could do to save him.
Nah. And it's one of those things where, like, back in the days, it was easy to be a hoe and then leave the city and nobody know about your hoe past because you left it all back there. Now you just got some nigga unburying that shit and say, oh, no, this is the type of hoe you was. You went back to the room with all four of these dudes and they ran one on you. And we got video proof.
Damn. Hey, let me listen to the auntie. Listen to auntie. She shook right now. Look, soon as I had it prepped and ready. Soon as you really want something to work.
There we go.
Y'all, I don't know. We might be in trouble. Did y'all see Hulu is about to release a documentary about 94 Freaknik? Yes. 1994 Freaknik. Yes. They are about to release a documentary. So, I'm just, now I've been to several Freakniks. 94 was one that I attended. So I'm just praying that Jesus be a fence. I'm praying that Jesus just be a big, tall privacy fence. That's my prayer. This Easter, this Good Friday. That's my prayer. So, I will say this though. Like when they would bring out those video cameras and start recording, I immediately removed myself from the that situation. I never ever was okay with being recorded out there. So hopefully that worked to my benefit, but you never know. So the only thing I got is, if you see your girl in the documentary, hey man, at least I'm fully clothed. At least all my clothes is on. That's all I got. That's the best I got. But yeah, y'all, they about to put our business out in the street. Some of us might be on TV. So get your parental controls together. And I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
See, Auntie ain't that old. She is on her break from her CNA job right now. She in the car, just already. She's stressing. This don't come out until a year from now. She's stressing already.
Could feel it.
She said,
I used to run away from the camera. But see, what y'all forget was,
it's always more than one camera.
It's always more than one camera. And I guess cameras back then, even when we were out in Memorial Weekend, the reason why when the dude came around with the camera that he used to get all the little action around that time is because cameras were few and far between back then.
Oh yeah.
Now
everybody has.
There's a camera in every direction. So she may think she's not in the thing, but you might be in the background throwing some ass.
Yeah. Or you didn't even see the camera approaching. It caught you while it was coming in, and when you noticed the camera, you walked away. But it's still footage of you doing whatever situation you was doing.
Oh shit. It's okay.
You know it,
it's okay. And it's fine. Like I said, we love the host. We have been saying that for years. We love the host. Well, I don't got nothing against you. But boy.
This is the thing. These women are nervous about it coming out, but it's no better time for this video to come out. Everybody does host shit. Like, y'all nieces that y'all hope don't see the video, they got OnlyFans right now. They doing way worse shit than what y'all was doing on that Freaknik video. So when that shit come out, it's gonna be watered down. Come on now. It ain't like you was one of the girls in that Jay-Z interview.
See, you may think that, right? But it was wild out there. Like a lot of Freaknik, a lot of shit that people were able to get away with during Freaknik, that shit is on some molesty, rapey vibes now.
I think that's going to be the conversation. Not the women. That shit that you just brought up. That's going to be the conversation.
Shit that people used to be able to get away with. Shit that used to just be of the norm.
Right.
Like
exactly.
There was a clip that came out earlier this week where it's this Iota out there going back and forth like, oh, well, you dress like that. You dress like that, so you knew people was gonna. Because like girls used to walk by and niggas used to just snatch their bikini tops off and run away with it. Now she got to run and chase him down. I've seen that happen Memorial Weekend on several, or they had a little bikini and they'll undo the string so it.
Yeah,
because niggas are dumb.
That's why I used to tell my homegirls. I used to be like, "Nah, don't go out to the beach to Memorial Day weekend. Them niggas be wilding out there." And they be like, "Why do you go?"
Because them niggas be wilding out there.
Then, like, I'm not a part of the debauchery, but I'm not gonna lie. If I see it,
at it, you know,
yeah,
I'm not gonna not look at it. Like, you know,
and there's some girls that's with it, and then, you know, if she with it, she might show some stuff. I might want to see it. I know you not with it, so you don't go out there because they might not know you not with it. So I'm trying to protect you. I
went with my sister once. I said, "Hey, you stand behind me all times."
Oh yeah, you become bodyguard. It's too stressful on you to go out there with somebody.
No, I wish I had not brought her. Like I literally like, hey,
now somebody
right
look
here,
at her
please.
Sideways. Yeah.
Hey, she good.
And then if
she good.
Yeah. And it's always the smallest dude in the group, about 4 or 5. That nigga always extra. Like you may have some dude that be like, "Hey, yo, little mama," and you speak up, "Nah, bro, she's straight." Nigga might be like, "All right, cool, she's spoken for." He might be quiet, but it's always that one nigga. So what you is her boyfriend or something? Man, fuck that little mama. Like, dog, nah. I got to fight you and your 5 homeboys who flew here from Chicago. Like, damn, dog.
One of y'all might have a blade on you. Like, I don't know.
And you quick to try me when I'm solo. When that's just me and the girl. Now, if it was me and my other niggas, you wouldn't have said nothing.
Wouldn't have had nothing. It wouldn't have been nothing said. But that's why I went with a homeboy. I at least, if anything, I got one other person in here. We don't throw hands. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that it's Uncle Luke and Jermaine Dupri means, because everybody's asking, like, it wasn't that many cameras out there. How could they have enough footage to focus on one particular year on Freaknik? But if any 2 people have access to all of that shit, it would be Jermaine Dupri, pretty much the king of Atlanta, especially during that time, and Uncle Luke. And let me tell you something about Uncle Luke that somebody pointed out the other day. Uncle Luke used to have a peep show. Females was out there doing all they wanted to do. They was eating each other out. That Jay-Z interview, the most uncomfortable person in that interview is Jay-Z. Uncle Luke made all those women feel very comfortable. So, and the crazy thing is, as much as people can say about Uncle Luke, he has never had no shit like that come out about him. Like, let's think about it. He has never had no wild shit come out about him doing something wrong to a woman or nothing like that. Like, that shows a lot.
Shit he did, it was probably consensual. Like, hey, they was with it.
He made hoes feel comfortable. I'm sorry. I said what you said, but
yeah, you said.
I said the silent part out loud again.
Yeah,
that's my fault.
No, but you're right though. I mean, he made the hoes feel comfortable. That's what you're supposed to do, and he did that. That's why you never heard. That's why he ain't had to move to Bali.
The one thing I'm gonna do though next year, I'm about to get back active on Facebook.
Oh, because you know it's gonna be popping off again.
Oh,
that's where all the aunties at.
All the aunties over there spreading Bible verses and scolding their nieces and nephews about shit they post. Oh, but auntie, it's gonna be a lot of, hey, auntie, this you?
No, auntie's gonna deactivate. Auntie's gonna deactivate quick. You know, it's funny. I bet on both social platforms gonna be two different conversations. On Facebook, it's gonna be the jokes, people tagging their aunties. Hey, I saw you. Screenshots, cool. On Twitter, it's gonna be think pieces on how men ain't shit back in the days, and rape culture and misogyny and all that other shit.
It's gonna be a nasty time.
Both conversations would be valid and correct.
I'm gonna have more fun on one side of the conversation than I will on the other side. 100%. And the thing is, you know, they doxing people. Like, it's gonna be somebody. I don't know how they're gonna get away with putting this video out. Maybe they might have to blur every face in the world on there.
It's too much work. The video be one big ass blur.
I'm scared.
To their benefit, I mean, them cameras couldn't have been that good. Like, you seen footage of that. The shit looked like it was recorded with a potato. So, can't be that. Unless it was somebody that was just really up in the camera. Other than that, I think for the most part, most people are safe. Unless you got a very distinct tattoo or everybody knew the Chevy Caprice you drove, you straight. Now, if they recognize your car, be like, hey, that's Uncle Tony Caprice. Uncle Tony, you up out of here.
Like, Uncle Tony, that's you. That girl was fucking on your car. That's Uncle. No, because look. TW. That's Tony Williams. That's that's you. That's you, because you always had the little TW on your little Buick. That's you. Yeah. That's you.
And then, hey, grandma, where your photo album? Flipping through this shit. Yeah, see, that's the same car right there.
Hey, Uncle Luke dropped I saw a video.
The photo album.
He dropped the photo album, Freaknik photo album, and I'm like, man, please don't open that shit. Oh.
I bet if they really wanted to, they could just do, you know, you ever seen one of them interviews where it's just a person sitting down, just recalling everything, just no footage of it. You just listen to their stories. They could have a conversation of just Uncle Luke and Jermaine Dupri just talking about the shit and film it for an hour and a half or 2 hours. And that shit would be interesting. But the fact that they're going to go and pull footage
I want footage
and show you. No, we all want footage. But the fact that they're going to pull footage and show you. And like you said, if it's any two dudes that can get that shit done, it's those two. So, I mean, good luck to all the aunties out there. For all of y'all that was being reckless and thought your past would never catch up to you. I mean, your day of reckoning
has arrived.
That'll be all right, though.
Staying on some freak shit. Now, I remember when the Rose came out, how niggas was feeling about it. I knew a nigga who was upset with his girl for even getting one. Like, I personally know a nigga who was upset with his girl for getting a rose. He was like, nah, essentially, if it's doing all of that, then what am I here for? Which scared me, because I was like, bro, that don't sound good for you. You sound very insecure. There's other things that the rose can't do.
Right. Thing niggas gotta realize, no sex toy is your adversary.
It's your partner.
Every sex toy, thank you, it's your teammate. Partner. It's your partner. When I was young and immature and insecure, then yeah, I was of that mindset. Why she need this and blah, blah, blah. As I got older, nah, nigga, sometimes you might need your turn. Tag that motherfucker. You have to tag that motherfucker in sometimes.
You're already sitting there like, like your back already a little sore. Like, go ahead. No. Get it to me. The battery broke.
No, it just spiced up a little bit. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with it, bro. You gotta embrace that shit. You gotta embrace it.
But now I feel like they're getting a little out of hand. Actually, this don't sound out of hand. It actually sounds kind of fun. But have you heard about these rose parties?
Nah, what is that?
Okay. So a rose party. So essentially, it's a weird way to think of a circle jerk. You're familiar with circle jerk?
I know what that. Continue.
I don't know where you're going.
You got my attention now. Okay.
For those who don't know what a circle jerk is,
I know what it is, but I mean,
it's when
let them look it up.
Yeah, niggas lock arms. They lock arms together.
They lock arms with it.
So a part of the circle jerk, it's not just a bunch of dudes jerking off in a circle. What they do
That's what I thought it was.
No, so what I hear is they lock arms, and by locking arms, if the other person is moving your arm for you, let me not do that motion, but you know what I mean, right?
No, but now I get it now. Now that I saw the motion.
Yeah, he's doing it for you. So it's essentially, you know what I'm saying?
You know what type of sick nigga you got to be to think of some shit like that? Because you can't do that shit with just you and another person. You have to concoct an idea to get several niggas in a room that's going to sign up for that shit. Niggas weird. Bet it was some white boy in Utah that thought of that shit.
It was a way of doing it without doing it. But
it's horrible.
But think of it like that. But it's more of a competition. So, like, let's say, like,
what are you competing for?
Oh no, I'm talking about for the women, for the rose party. So this is how it's formulated. Okay. So let's say it's like 6-7 girls. They all get together, and then they all have to start the rose and put it on their, put it on their clit and everything at the same time.
They put it on themselves.
On themselves.
Okay.
Now, the woman who survives the whole thing and doesn't come before everybody else, all the other girls have to eat her out.
Where's the bad part?
Nigga, I said it was a party. I ain't say it was a bad thing.
Oh, okay. I'm waiting for the ball to drop. Like, okay, what's the downside?
No, ain't no balls there to drop. It's just a bunch of women. Just a bunch of women.
I mean, now see, if this was in a documentary, now this would be fire.
I'd pay to watch this documentary.
Right? You're like, what? Hulu Premium? No problem.
No problem. That ain't no problem.
No problem at all.
Nigga, pay per view.
Nah.
Y'all doing? Oh, it's like a Holyfield fight. No, that's a competition. Now this is the type of competition I can sign up for. Now look, Frank, y'all already know Frank don't support women's basketball, but he'll support this. Look at the sports. Look at the sports that Frank will support. Look at that now. I want y'all to feel that.
I'm not gonna lie. I have watched the lingerie football game from start to finish. Have you ever seen that? Them girls in the lingerie play football?
I have seen it. I do follow a few on Instagram. Now, the
crazy thing is,
I got this weird thing for like the workout girls. I don't know when
it's not a weird thing. It's very logical. They're sexy.
Yeah, the workout in Houston. Like that's a majority of my timeline. This is why we're currently in the middle of Q1's purge as we speak. I should have by Saturday tomorrow. Well, whenever this comes out. By Monday, I should not have any of the people. Like I should have dropped like 400 people on my Instagram. It's that bad. I know.
It's just amazing how you find that many fine women. It's crazy, right? That's why these young athletes, I do not blame these niggas for not getting married.
It's women everywhere.
Every fucking where. Options just open.
But you know what? Just falling back on the Freaknik doc, from what I was hearing, I was listening to Roy and Maul talk about it, and they were like, if you think about it, back then there were women with all different types of body types, shades, colors, hairstyles, all of that. But now, almost everybody look the same.
Yeah, because they see what they believe is trending, and then everybody tries to achieve that, like in music.
Even the body types, a lot of the body types are the same now.
Yeah. So like in music, when the Migos came out with their flow, it was unique. And other artists saw how people gravitated towards how they rap. And other people who's not even from that region start to emulate it. Same thing with women. At one point, everybody was trying to achieve the quote unquote Kim Kardashian look. So a lot of facial procedures, cosmetic surgeries, the gold standard was Kim Kardashian facial features. So you had a lot of women who, especially if they were like her complexion of skin, they looked like carbon copies. And then slowly the look started to move away from that.
Secret. Come here.
I'm okay.
She stole it from black people.
Yeah, she did. But since she was popular, everybody credits her for it. That's how it works. Sometimes it's not the best to be first.
She started the trend with the braids.
That pissed off a lot of people. My God, they were big mad.
Fuck that bitch. There's a lot of fuck their whole family. Fuck Kim, Cardi B, anybody who started with a K. Like they was Cardi B started with C, but y'all know what I mean.
I know what you mean. But yeah. And to Rory and Maul's point, yeah, there was no quote unquote gold standard. And then if there was a gold standard, like cosmetic surgery was something that only the uber wealthy did. Like there was no finance plans back then. Back then it was, hey, do you have the $50K to get a new nose or no? Now
you either gonna keep looking like you or you not.
I think they have it here in Miami too, but I remember I saw in LA, we was driving in an Uber and I saw on a billboard, like, I swear to you, it was like an ad that say buy one breast, get the other breast free. And then on the radio, it was like, finance, your Brazilian butt lift for like, 10 easy payments and shit like that. And it's like, wow, they make it very accessible now.
I'm mad I didn't think of that. Imagine starting that company early.
I've always said
we'll front you.
All the people from our generation, all the people in our generation who decided to go to medical school, and especially those who said, I want to be a cosmetic surgeon, all them niggas made the best decision because we never saw where social media was going. And understanding how vain people are, dude, like Dr. Miami, that nigga could damn near print money. All he has to do is post people that he thinks are good looking and say vain shit about them. Like, oh, this person is beautiful. Or, you can achieve this look for 12 easy payments. And people be like, oh, yeah, right. It's like, oh yeah, I could look like that. Cool. All I got to do is give him $1,200 a week for 10 months. I could do that.
Don't let them have to come back and repo them shits. Like, hey, come back.
You know what? There might be a service for that where you get your shit repo.
I don't think so. It's got to be something.
I don't know, man. I don't put it past Americans. They could think of anything, make anything into a business. But yeah, cosmetic surgery is booming. Even during the pandemic, every little money they got when they could when people was going black on social media and then they come out and they looking good selling Herbalife and shit like that, motherfuckers going in surgery and shit.
I wish someone would have gave me some brutally honest advice. Like, hey, that shit you going to school for? Why? Why? What are you going to get out of that? You want to be a nurse? For what? For what?
If I could go back in time and tell myself, if not tell myself to stick with architecture or whatever, it'll be, hey, become a plastic surgeon. People are vain as hell. Like, you would never go out of business. People never feel they're good looking enough. You will always have business. Always.
We just got to be ready for the next one. That's all. We just got to be ready for the next one. Whatever the next one is.
Wave. Yeah.
Speaking of brutally honest advice, there was a post that was circulating social media where men were giving women brutally honest relationship advice. We're going to share a few with y'all because some of it was wild, but some of it was valid.
Yeah. There's definitely some that I read that I'd have agreed with. And there was others like, I'll take this opportunity to tell women like, hey, don't follow this nigga's advice. Like, this is actually pretty horrible. Like, here's one, and I'll let y'all be the judge. One, it's from this guy. He says, we like reassurance and validation as much as you do. And we want to be vulnerable with you. So show us that it's okay.
But if you show us that it's not, then don't ever expect us to.
Now that one is valid as fuck. That is absolutely right. The same way women like reassurance, and there comes a peace with knowing how much a person, my bad. There comes a peace with knowing how much a person cares for you and not having to guess their intentions or their desire for you. And more importantly, the second part of that, we do want to be vulnerable. We pin up, and I'm just speaking in general for most men that I know, we pin up a lot of shit that we don't share. We get beat up a lot throughout the day, throughout the week, and we don't say that shit. I mean, we may jokingly talk about it with each other, but sometimes we want to put down that clown face and just talk for real and just say, hey, I'm hurting about this, or this shit really bothered me. And the last thing we want is to be open and vulnerable about something that actually hurts us, for you to one day turn around during an argument and be like,
and use that shit against me.
Oh, you a bitch for that.
Yeah. See, the thing is, the one person I should want to be vulnerable with is the person who I have chosen to walk the rest of this life with. Like, who's now say what y'all want. Your girl is the person who probably, before we get the memes in the group chat, you probably send your girl some. You may filter out some because you don't want to start no argument, or you see the meme and you be like, hey, you know what? We just fought about that last week. I don't want to do that, but I'm going to send it over because it's funny. But your girl is your best friend. At least that's the way I always wanted it. I want my girl to be my best friend. Like, I want to send her little shit like that. Like, I thought this was hilarious. Now, we might argue over something. That's cool. But that's my best friend. So I should want to be vulnerable with my best friend. This is the person who I choose to walk with me. The person who I trust the most in my life, who's seen me in my bear. You know what I'm saying? See my shit soft. You know what I'm saying? That's a vulnerable state. Like,
yeah, that's very vulnerable.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you grow, not a show. You know, it depends on who you are.
Right. Depends on who. But either way, that's a truly vulnerable moment. You share that with somebody, that means you really care for them.
So I should want to be able to do that. Now,
right.
On the flip side, there's other brutal relationship advice like this. This nigga said, you know the thing that y'all do when you get into a relationship, y'all get all happy and then y'all gain all that weight? Yeah, don't do that.
Now, this one I don't too much agree with. Granted, there might be a limit where it's like, okay, you put on a little too much happy weight, but a little bit of weight don't hurt nobody.
Like what Frank said last week, just put it on me. That's what Frank said.
Drop that shit. Yeah. And I guess maybe that's with us. We like them thick. So it's like, gain a little weight. I mean, who gives a... You gonna get this loving either way. You's good. And besides, the happy weight is a sign of people outside the relationship that, oh, that person getting taken care of. They done gained a little weight. They look happy. Now they glowing. That's how the world know that. Okay. Somebody's on their job in that relationship.
It usually means that well, it's not what it means, but usually it should fall in the right places. Hopefully, if you're doing it right.
Now, if it falls in the right places, that's a bonus. My God, that's a bonus.
Like, yeah, she got a little put, but that ass, dude.
If the ass and thighs plump up and titties plump up, nigga.
Siskel and Ebert gives you 2 thumbs up on this side.
Let you try to lose that weight. The niggas getting upset. Like, hold on, what you mean you trying to go to the gym?
Hey, babe, you still doing the intermittent fasting? You gotta slow that down.
Yeah, right.
What's going on?
Hey, come on, let's go eat some chicken real quick. Let's get you some.
No, we're gonna get you. You're gonna get 2 Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Eat both. Don't take that top bread off. Eat them both.
Yeah, right. We're gonna go to this barbecue spot. We're gonna get you some rib tips.
G shit. Here's a good one. Ladies, you people are the only ones who understand your hints. Open your mouth and talk if you want something. And God, I always want to say, them hints y'all think y'all throwing, only you understand the code you in, okay?
Out of all of them, I would probably say that's probably the best one. It's direct, straight to the point. We don't understand them hits. A lot of times, just be straight up with us. And then the times when you do be straight up, learn to match the tone of how you're feeling about it. Don't jokingly say shit when you being straight up. Because again, we might just think you're joking. And then when you come back around and be like, well, I did say this. You said it while we was in the middle of a joke. Like, we was in a playful mood. How was I supposed to know that we was
getting serious?
Seriously. Yeah. No matter how big or small it is. Hey, I don't like it when you leave the dishes dirty in the sink. Can you please stop that? It really bothers me. Okay, I got it now. Cool. It was said calm. No fight needed to take place. You told me how you felt. You give me an opportunity to correct my actions. Great. What women tend to do is they'll see the dirty dishes. And you see, that's what I'm always talking about. You always leaving shit in the dishes for me to do. Whoa, 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 whoa. I ain't leaving enough for you to do. I left it in there because I ain't feel like doing it right now.
Or this. You think we playing a game in the living room. The kitchen's next to us. You think that because you decided to go walk, you walked over there with your cup, you put it in the sink, and you decided to just make a bunch of noise, that was supposed to be hint for me to get up and wash the dishes? No, in my mind, I was like, oh man, thank God she washing them dishes. Like,
we get tunnel vision like a it'd be times like I'll be watching something and I'll be so zeroed in on it that you could be telling me something and I don't hear you because I'm so focused on what I'm looking at. And then when I hear, it's like you become background noise. And then when I hear the background noise stop, then I'm like, huh?
Don't say that. You just say,
but
you telling a lady she become background noise at a certain point?
Oh no, I'm telling you because you get it.
Okay.
It's like you will hear her talking and then she'll stop talking. And then now you hear the talking stop and you're like, huh?
What'd you say?
And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to repeat myself. But you saw I wasn't paying attention. And now I know I did something wrong because now you stomping your feet when you're going up and down the stairs. You got your arms crossed. So tell me what it is so I can fix it now. LeBron is about to put up 30. I don't want to miss it. Like,
now I got to stop what I'm doing. Walk up there with the, babe, what's wrong? No, I know something is wrong. Go down there, watch a game. Go down there, watch it. This is important. I'm trying to understand what's going on. I got to look. I got to validate you and give you all the reassurance you need. I'm here for you. Now, in the back of my head, I'm like, I hope I can get through this. Stop fucking playing. Let's get. I'm trying to get back to the game. Halftime is about to be over. So I can catch a little bit of it.
You left the volume and all the while you hear on TV. LeBron with the windmill tomahawk. And you like, oh.
Oh, you hear that? And bang! Low-key, you listening to her, but you hear that bang, you almost be like this.
And don't let it be a close game. I mean, it's like you damn near die a little bit inside. Like, damn, I didn't. Like, it's not the same when I got to watch it back on ESPN. Like, I needed to celebrate with the people at the same time.
And you also can't rush back. Like, once y'all get it over with, you gotta kind of linger with her a little bit. So you got to be like, all right, you know, and then you kind of lay with her a little bit. Like, the whole time you be like,
because let you rush back too quick. She's going to be like, you see, you only came up here so you like, yes, of course. I didn't want to come back to a cold bed, so I had to make sure you was okay. But no, like you said, you got to play the game. You got to lay up with you. Maybe even joke a little bit. Might show you a meme that I'm finna send to the group chat, but I'm gonna let you see it first.
And that's love.
Love is a verb. See, all of that is love because we care. We get it. It's just y'all got to meet us halfway about some shit.
Please. That's all we asking. Man, all right, bro. On that, I say that was a good part.
That was
a good part. This was good.
That was good.
Hold on. We got shit. Hold on. Where's my mouse? I have no idea where it's at. That's all right. Fuck it. I think we got a little. Hold on.
We got a sound bar.
So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between and outside of those constructs, this has been another episode of the Samurai Professionals Podcast, the podcast where two young professionals bring issues to the table, and we just chopped it up. I'm your co-host Marvin, Young Saint, Charles Flex Xavier, Datman Beyond, Dion Slanders, Petty Pendergrass, Public Sub-Zero, Scorpion Vibes, tell your wife to get over here. Oh, and the man to the right of me can only be.
Oh, what to say? Goddamn, nigga. Not your man, Candy Savage, the serial killer, Jabba in the cut, the munch on lunch, Ron Swan song, Horror Doorstopper, the F&D, who else but me? He is I am him. It's Frank, and we just chopped it up. You can email us at the Samurai Professionals Podcast at gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at the Samurai Pros. Hit us up in the Discord. It's currently under construction, but it'll be up and running. That's where you'll get some extra content from us. Some of the references Marvin and I make, we will provide those references in the Discord, such as that Jay-Z interview. I'll look for it, or maybe Marvin might have it, so y'all can see what we're talking about. It's a crazy interview.
We need to we'll drop our military pictures with our ties.
Oh yeah, all the pictures we talked about from the early 2000s, we'll put them up in there, and we encourage y'all to do the same. Like if y'all got those early 2000 club pics or whatever, please post them so we can all laugh and joke with each other. You can find me on any social media platform at I Can Only Be Frank. Where can I find you, Marv?
You can find me on any social media platform at Marvin X Adams. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the button. Frank, use the correct hand and point to the corner.
See, I don't know what orientation
the other hand.
I'm at on your
the other hand.
Okay.
Higher.
Boom.
Can you see your finger? If you can't see your finger, they can't. Drop it.
I can't see my finger.
Drop it a little lower. There, right. He means over a little bit more, but it's fine, right? Other way. It's fine. He gets it. Please subscribe.
I don't know how I'm see, lift your right hand right now. You see, you're on the other side of my screen. It's weird.
It's okay. Hey, this has been another episode of the Samurai Professionals Podcast. Peace and love.
Peace.